Our move to Mexico has been a full success, despite missing our destination by thousands of miles. It was still our goal to get a residency in Paraguay, and that at this time our documents were valid for just over 3 months. With all the good experiences we collected in Mexico on the West Coast, it was hard not to lose track of our goal. Some regularity came into our lives in Puerto Vallarta. It seems to be a small enough town to feel comfortable and inspired by the beautiful promenade with the beach, and big enough to have good infrastructure and connectivity. Even with an okay internet connection, we stayed at a very reasonable priced hotel with apartment rooms, with kitchen. So our daily activities consisted of breakfast, walk at the beach, a coffee shop visit, going to work, so to speak, and working on projects. Some dinner at night, and then maybe some walk on the beach again. Alexandra and me took up running again, and the hotel roof had a pool and some space for some calisthenics exercises and yoga. Things were going well. One night though, I received some bad news from my dad. My grandfather had passed away. He had recovered a bit from the health problems he had when he was in the hospital where I saw him last. Fortunately, he was able to reunite with my grandmother for a few more weeks, before he then had fallen asleep at night and never woke up again. A few days later, they had a big funeral with many people coming from all over the country. I had no way to attend, but I already knew this beforehand. I know my grandfather was proud of me, wherever he might be right now. Ever since his passing, I feel his presence in my life more than ever. He's sharing all the good memories of my journey with me. I always imagined that he would comment on all the adventures that I got myself into. He has been and always will be my guardian throughout life. Kim's and Ole's time in Mexico was soon coming to an end. Both of them had return flights to Europe, but both of them knew they would be back in Mexico sooner than later. As our last trip together, we were planning a trip to the Nogallito waterfall, a place just south of Puerto Vallarta. Originally, we were gonna be a group of 7 people, but due to unforeseen nightly activities on part of some of our colleagues, we ended up being just 3 of us: Alexandra, Kim, and I. We all had no idea what we would get ourselves into. From our conversations the night before, we all thought this is going to be a quick hike along the river and then a comfortable time swimming at the waterfall. That's why we all opted for flip-flops instead of our more resilient shoes. Also, I brought my big carry-on backpack filled with my drone, my iPad, and all tech that I was bringing for my whole journey. This ended up being an almost disastrous decision. The hiking path soon disappeared, and the only way forward was hiking through the actual river. It wasn't necessarily rainy season, but the river wasn't at its lowest point either. There were times where I had to carry my bag over my head to make sure it wouldn't drown in water. Also, the flip-flops soon had to go. Alexandria fortunately had her water shoes with her, but all that was left for Kim and me was hiking the river barefoot. That's fine for a few hundred meters, but we were not thinking that the waterfall was actually a few miles inland. The nature was absolutely breathtaking and made the trek well worth it. But without having any cell phone connection nor having researched the distance in advance, we just kept on going. My feet soon started to burn with every step we took. My backpack added another 20 kilos to my weight of 100 kilos. That turned me into a 265-pound barefoot creature that slowly tiptoed its way through the river. It was an adventure though, and it helped me to immediately switch off my pain centers. Kim, on the other hand, had to fight with a very real pain. The knee that was damaged just in early repair after the stem cell treatment that he was here for. The doctor told him not to walk too much, and he vehemently ignored that advice on this trip. But now that thought was creeping up on his head after hours crossing the jungle, seeing no one, just water and the breathtaking green plants, he started to worry if there even was a waterfall, or if we might have missed it somehow. We thought about options, and he vehemently was pushing for turning back. We came up with the idea of flying the drone, but for some reason the flight height of the drone was locked to just 10 feet above ground. It must have been somehow connected with not having any reception and not being able to connect to enough satellites through the thickness of the jungle. Well, thanks DJI for that. So what was meant as just a short stopover turned into a huge argument about Kim wanting to go back and me thinking that there is no moving back, and I felt like the waterfall was just around the corner. Alexandra was fine both options, but she was gonna stay with me no matter what. So, thank you, my dear. Well, I felt my whole body was in pain, but Kim's situation was different. So we separated. Kim was walking back by himself, and we would catch up with him later on. It was not more than 5 minutes after we separated that we saw the waterfall. We yelled for Kim, but there was no way he could have heard us. The waterfall was a fascinating place. We rushed into the water, went swimming against the current, and showered ourselves with the water from above. Most of all though, I was proud of myself that I didn't give up. I felt this to be somewhat the mantra of my life. I will never give up, no matter what cards life will deal me.
It's hard, right? I tried. Get up there! Woo!
I will never give up pursuing my dreams. The hike back took even longer. We were tired, our feet hurt, and it started to get dark. The last thing we wanted to happen is to get stuck in the jungle at night. We didn't catch up with Kim though. He already made it all the way home to the hotel by the time we had cell phone reception again. In a way, I think Kim was proud of me when I told him about our success. He's a motivational speaker himself, and he honors people who stick to their words and follow their own plans. And most of all, never give up. Go ahead and read Alexandra's account of the waterfall hike at her blog at alexandraallover.com. With the departure of our Viking brothers the next day, our life became a lot less eventful. Just regular good old work days with some sunsets, beach walks, and generally a beautiful setting for all this, but somehow not quite what we were looking for. After a hard day of work, I'm sitting here at Puerto Vallarta Beach and enjoying the sunset. Basically every day we're just doing some work at a coffee shop to get things done, and then have a little bit of time here and enjoying the sun and the waves. And then later on we will do some sports again and get some food. And then to top it all off, my stomach started to act up. I am again in bed for the second time, having issues with my stomach. As they call Montezuma's revenge here. I had it about a week ago, trying to be true to the paleo diet. So maybe I can give you some tips. I'm not sure if it's helping, but lots of bananas. Blueberries would be great, but you can't really get them here. They're saying carrots soaks up the stomach fluids, and coconut water helps you with, getting enough nutrients back in. And then chocolate, dark chocolate only, or cacao nibs would also help. Wish me luck that this is getting better. I'm used to a pure paleo diet with my regular ribeye steak every evening. Unfortunately, while traveling, that's not always possible. Especially in Latin American countries, it can be really hard to come by my favorite paleo cuisine. So it had to happen to me at least once. Montezuma's revenge. I really didn't feel so great. Fortunately, after a few days, things got back to normal. Actually feeling a lot better. My whole thing is mostly done. I kind of beat it with lots of bananas, having some blueberries. I had a nice blueberry banana shake earlier today, and I drank a lot of coconut water. I'm gonna have a nice cup of tea right now, and I hope that really helps. Ever since then, my stomach was fine, and I never had any issues again. On a positive note here, I got news from Austria that my motorcycle was sold, and the sales guy already transferred me all the money. Things are working out when you set them up the right way. These were good signs. Though Puerto Vallarta was just not what we were looking for, Alexandra and me were considering a change of location. We heard many good things about the Yucatan Peninsula in the Mexican Caribbean. So we booked a flight to go there, but first we were gonna celebrate Alexandra's birthday. For that special day, we booked 2 nights at a 5-star hotel, Mio Vallarta. Today we are splurging a little bit with a nice view of this hotel here, Hotel Mio in Puerto Vallarta. And it also comes with a nice rooftop pool, so that's always an availability right here for a nice swim. We spent some relaxing time there and slowly had our Mexican West Coast adventures come to an end. The Caribbean was waiting for us, and it had quite some different adventures for us in store. It all started off turbulent with a hurricane arriving in Cancun just the day before we arrived. Hear more about this in the next episode of the Adventure Escape Diaries. With this inspirational journey continuing in the next video, I want to make you aware of my current offer for a free online coaching session with me. With the Adventure Escape Diaries, you can follow my journey to personal freedom. And now let's make your dream life possible as well. You want to talk to me about reaching your fitness goal, healthy eating on the go, or you need help emigrating from your country and finding a new home? I am here for you, and I can point you into all the right directions. Get inspired by this one-time session or join me for a regular coaching. So go ahead, follow the link in the description and book your free appointment right now. I can't wait for you to plan your own escape and join the adventure.